A graphic novel is a book-length story told through sequential art, a combination of images and text, usually in panels. Coined in the late 1970s and popularized by Will Eisner, the term generally refers to a format rather than a specific genre. Should they be classified as legitimate literature and real reading, especially in the educational and academic context? You decide. Graphic novels require active reading skills. Graphic novels involve decoding text, understanding dialogue, interpreting vocabulary, and following narrative structure, which are key components of traditional reading. In the article, The Case for Graphic Novels by Sarah Hoover, Hoover argues that readers need to decode comics, which entails readers utilizing critical thinking skills by analyzing, evaluating, and synthesizing both visual and textual components of graphic novels. In fact, Hoover applied these principles and created assignments for educators to use when teaching their students with graphic novels. These assignments were used to develop a student's research skills, including evaluating sources, fact-checking, and analyzing reviews. This means that readers are not passively ingesting information while reading, but are actively connecting it with the visual and textual elements they are given within the graphic novel. Graphic novels not only teach readers active reading skills, but also provide opportunities to learn a wide range of literacy and research information skills.
On the other hand, graphic novels may not offer the same depth of reading practice as traditional books. Because they rely heavily on pictures and often contain less text, some believe students have fewer chances to build strong vocabulary, work through complex sentence structures, and develop the stamina needed to read longer, text-heavy material. Instead of pushing readers to focus on detailed descriptions and advanced language, the visuals can sometimes carry much of the storytelling. In addition, bringing graphic novels into the classroom can create social challenges for some students. Research by Richardson found that both boys and girls have felt embarrassed or self-conscious when reading graphic novels in public, especially around peers they see as more popular, fearing they might be judged or teased because they're reading picture books. For these reasons, some educators worry that while graphic novels can be engaging, they may not always provide the same academic or social benefits as more traditional forms of reading.
Graphic novels can be used as a tool for teaching visual literacy. When reading graphic novels, readers must interpret images, facial expressions, panel sequencing, and symbolism. In this day and age, visuals are everywhere in everything we consume. They're seen on television, video games, social media, to name a few. In the article, Toward a Shared Vocabulary for Visual Analysis by Sean Connors, he discusses how even though we've been exposed to visuals most, if not all of our lives, there is no guarantee that we have the skills to interpret them. Therefore, using graphic novels to teach visual literacy skills is a must. For example, through graphic novels, we can learn that different shapes have different meanings, such as circles representing unity and togetherness, horizontal lines and shapes illustrating calm and stability, vertical shapes and lines depicting strength, and diagonals portraying action and movement. Graphic novels are important because they offer opportunities to teach visual literacy skills that are increasingly important in modern communication and media literacy.
Teaching visual literacy is important, but graphic novels can sometimes oversimplify big or complex ideas by shrinking them into short bits of dialogue or a few images. Because there is often less detailed explanation than in full-length novels, students may not get as many chances to dig deeply into themes, character development, or complicated arguments. This can make it harder to practice the kind of deep analysis that traditional prose often require. In addition, teaching with graphic novels is not always easy for educators. The mix of pictures and text means teachers need new strategies and skills to guide students in understanding both parts together. According to Lapp, Wolseley, Fisher, and Frey, while many teachers are open to using graphic novels, they often need more support and training to use them effectively in the classroom. Without proper guidance, the goal of building strong visual literacy skills may not be fully achieved.
Graphic novels improve engagement and motivation. Graphic novels often encourage reluctant or struggling readers to read more frequently, help build confidence, and create a positive reading habit. According to the article Adolescence and Autographics by Jeanette Hughes, graphic novels offer popular cultural appeal to readers and offer a way to entice unmotivated readers into reading and developing literacy skills. What's significant about graphic novels is that readers of all ages and abilities can and do read them. Picture elements in a graphic novel can help visual learners, emergent readers, and reluctant readers understand the story being told in a creative and thought-provoking way. Also, a graphic novel has fewer words than a traditional text, so it is less intimidating to a beginner or reluctant reader. They are learning that reading is a positive activity because they are choosing materials that interest them. Graphic novels can be effective tools for making reluctant readers more interested in reading, as they are a more appealing option than a traditional book.
While graphic novels can spark interest and help struggling readers feel more comfortable with reading, some critics argue that they may not fully prepare students for the challenges of standardized tests and academic writing. Because graphic novels depend so much on pictures and usually have shorter, simpler text, students may not get enough practice reading long, detailed passages filled with advanced vocabulary. Standardized tests and school assignments often require students to analyze dense texts, write extended responses, and understand complex language. According to Bessie and Adam, if students are exposed mostly or only to graphic novels, they could struggle when faced with traditional academic reading and writing tasks. For this reason, it is debated that while graphic novels can be a helpful starting point, they should not replace regular novels and other text-heavy materials in the classroom.
Graphic novels can be complex and intellectually demanding. Many graphic novels explore sophisticated themes such as history, identity, and ethics, and require readers to determine meaning by combining text and visuals. Though graphic novels can center on topics like action-adventure stories, romance, or mystery, they also explore challenging and complex issues and themes. There are many graphic novels currently published that tackle issues like these. For instance, Mouse by Art Spiegelman details the horror of the Holocaust and what it means to be a survivor of it. Persepolis by Marjane Satrapi explores growing up and amid political turmoil, coming of age, and cultural identity. As evidenced by the examples given, graphic novels can bring concepts such as places, people, and the past to life. The sequential art form and illustrations provide the reader with more detailed information in a way to easily understand the topic. Graphic novels supply readers with an opportunity to engage with the complex topic in a more accessible way.
Even though some graphic novels cover serious and meaningful topics, a lot do not offer the same depth as traditional texts. Because they rely on shorter dialogue and visuals to tell the story, important ideas can sometimes feel condensed rather than fully explored. In a study of high school students, Moeller found that some students and school administrators questioned the academic value of graphic novels, especially when they included violence or sexual content. There were also social concerns tied to who was reading them. For example, some male students felt uncomfortable seeing girls read comics they viewed as for boys, which points to ongoing gender stereotypes and social pressure surrounding graphic novels in schools. These findings suggest that while graphic novels can address complex themes, they may also bring challenges related to depth, content, and classroom acceptance. Thank you for listening to our graphic debate. Have a great day.